It's finally time for the ultimate deck combination, the Blue-Eyes Waifu Dragon. What's up, Devastator Squad? Seto Dazu here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can combine the power of the new Dracotail card with the unstoppable force of the Blue-Eyes White Dragon. Alright, Devastators, we are back with another Blue-Eyes White Dragon deck, but today it's the Blue-Eyes White Waifu, combining the Blue-Eyes White Dragon with the waifu insanity of the Dracotail. Before we get into the profile, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're on the push for 5,000 subscribers, and let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of the Blue-Eyes White Waifu deck? Alright, so here we go. Seto Kaiba meets Waifu Edition, aka the Blue-Eyes Dracotail deck. So first off, we'll start with the Blue Eyes package. So we're going to be playing the 2 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. There's really, I don't think, any need to explain why we play 2 Blue Eyes in Blue Eyes decks. But yeah, we got these beautiful ultimate rares we pulled not too long ago on the channel, so we're gonna flex on these ones today. The beautiful card. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Maiden of White. Obviously, we want to see this card as much as humanly possible to get access to the True Light, and of course, additional tuner monsters and shenanigans with the field spell. So we want Maiden of White always to be at 3 copies. Next up, we've got our 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage is obviously a powerful card to start with, to search your Veilers, search your Maidens. Also, its in-hand effect is really good. Just being able to target one of your effect monsters to send it away to special summon a Blue Eyes card out of the deck is very nice. Gets us access to a number of things, including Blue Eyes White Dragon, but also our good old Blue Eyes Jet. We are electing to play this card in the deck. There's a number of ways to get access to this card. Sage is one of those ways. Now, one of the main reasons we're playing the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon is just because of its cracked synergy with some of the Dracotail cards. One of the fusion monsters, Dragontail Glulamel, lets you destroy a card on the field. So when you get to do that to interrupt and pop a card on your opponent's board, you can then go ahead and trigger your Blue Eyes Jet Dragon to special summon it down. Now you have your 3,000 body plus protection of all of your cards from being destroyed, and it has a really good effect. When it goes into the battle, you get to bounce a card back to your opponent's hand. All right, so next up, the spells and traps with Blue Eyes. We're only playing 2 copies of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. Reason being is just because we only need to resolve this one time. And for the 3rd copy of this, you can just play something else, and we'll get to that in a minute. We've got, of course, the Mausoleum of White. Very much needed in this. Just like with normal Primite Blue Eyes, you need that second normal summon for your Blue Eyes cards. All right, we've got 1 copy of Roar. Roar is really strong. It gets Blue Eyes out of the deck, and then if you have a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field, you could also special summon your Jet out of the deck, or you can summon Jet from the graveyard, or you can even summon stuff like Blue Eyes Spirit from the graveyard. So Roar is just very nice. And last but not least, we've got, of course, our True Light. True Light being able to obviously pick up our entire Blue Eyes engine and get us in rotation. And then our last is, of course, the Trap card. So that's it for the Blue Eyes. Okay, so next up is the waifu portion of the Blue Eyes White Waifu. I guess also Maiden of White is kind of sort of a waifu, but this is more of the waifu right here. We've got first up our 3 copies of Dracotail Fine Mana. Now, Fine Mana is just a powerful card. Being able to quick effect fusion summon during either player's main phase is just absolutely bonkers. All the Dragontails, when they're used as fusion material and go to the grave, you can then set any Dragontail spell or trap directly from your deck. Very good stuff here. A lot of loops you can do with this on our Thalion during either player's turn, so you can constantly keep using 5 Manas on both players' turns. It's a very broken card. Next up, we got 2 copies of Dracotail Lucaius. Now, you can play 3 copies of this card, but I'm electing to only play 2 because I don't want to have so many cards that have to be normal summoned or activate on summon if I don't really have to. There's so many other ways for us to get access to Dracotail cards. The good old key to Dracotail to just search everything. So I really don't see the need in playing 3 copies of this card. One nice thing though about the Dracotail Lucaius is it is a level 4 spellcaster, so you can just summon it, search a Dragontail monster, and then you can link it away to start doing Blue Eyes cards. All right, next up we got our 2 copies of Mululu. Similar to Lucaius, we really don't need additional cards that can only do something on the field. Mululu we will summon every once in a while, but you don't need this card at 3 copies. It is cool because you can quick effect fusion with it on while it's on the field, but of course if you're going to do stuff like that, you got to make sure that you're doing your Blue Eyes cards first, because the Mululu, of course, will fusion lock you for the rest of the turn. But one cool thing with the Mululu, of course, if it's a graveyard effect, if it's sent there as a fusion material, you can negate a monster effect on your opponent's field. Okay, lastly for the monsters, we got the Argala and the Pan. We just need each of these for the names and also for their effects, and just get more Dragontail cards in rotation, so they kind of just facilitate what they need to do. We've got 2 copies of Rahu Dracotail, the fusion spell, the branded fusion of Dragontail. I don't need 3 copies of this card because it's very, very easily searchable. Of course, it's nice to hard draw it, but I am playing another fusion spell in the place of the 3rd Rahu, and we'll get to that in a second here. But very, very, very powerful card for sure. And of course, we got 3 copies of Seto Dracotail. It's reinforcement of the waifu. Lets you get access to YuGiOh, Flymena, Mululu, whatever piece you are missing for your plays, and then just keep going from there. So this card is just really, really, really nuts. And then, of course, we got our 2 copies of the traps, 1 horn and 1 flame, so we have those interruptions, because these cards are just really cracked to just stop your opponent from doing stuff on their turn. And then they have a little bit of recursion as well. Okay, so next up, we've got a nice little Primite package. Yeah, we're playing the Primites in here as well. There's no reason not to. They have perfect synergy with Blue Eyes, and they have really good synergy with the Dracotail being all dragon. So we've got 2 copies of Ether Barrel, not 3 copies. Reason is it's very similar to YuGiOh. I would rather max out on the spell cards that can search out all of the Primite cards or the Dracotail cards. So this is the same reason. We don't want too many cards that we can normal summon and get these clogged hands where it's just like every card I have to normal summon, I have to pick my poison, right? So definitely just want to make sure like you can search this and have it in rotation when you need to off of the Lordly loads, which we're going to get to next. The 3 copies of Primite Lordly load. We need this card at 3. We want to see this card as often as we can. But obviously, it's just great to constantly have these every turn to just grind out and just get access to your Primite stuff. Next up, we've got 2 copies of Primite Drill Beam. I really think that this card is just obviously super, super powerful, but playing multiple copies I think is very, very warranted. So you can just hard draw it more frequently, so you can use your Lordly loads and your Ether Barrels to also get access to this card, the Primite Fusion. Now, the reason, like I said, we're playing not 3 Rahu is because I wanted to play 1 Primite Fusion, and this card has been really nasty during testing. This card not only allows you to basically summon every single fusion in your extra deck, but it's a really good recursion tool as well. Primite Fusion lets you shuffle back the monsters from the field, graveyard, or banishment. So this allows you to recycle all of your Blue Eyes cards, all of your Dragontail stuff, like your Arthalians, for example, and just be able to get access to them again and again and again. So this is a really, really powerful card. Lastly, we got the hand traps. We got 2 copies of Veiler. Now, obviously, it's Blue Eyes, so we can just search the card via our Sage and via our Wishes. And it is a level 1 light tuner, so it's a starter for both the linking and also extending into synchro play. So we want to play the card. We've got 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. It's just obviously always been one of the most powerful hand traps. We might as well play it. We have the space too. We've got 3 copies of Molcharmy Fuvalos. I think Fuvalos makes a lot of sense in a deck like this, especially because you can draw into a card like Dracotail Flymena. So you can be pressuring your opponent, forcing you to just draw some cards, and then you can Flymena them and drop like an Arthalian or something to then continue to interrupt their board that is already under a lot of pressure from a Fuvalos. So this card makes a lot of sense in this deck, I think, because it facilitates drawing those additional cards like Flymena, but also allows you to draw your engine cards like Blue Eyes and etc. Last up, so we've got our 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. This is the only hand trap we're playing in the deck. You can play Purge in here if you want to, but I would recommend you don't need to, because it does conflict with some really, really powerful cards like Gulamel, for example. So I think Imperm is more than enough to do its thing, and also you could reset it off of the effect of Tyrant Dragon. So just a good card. Now, obviously, the hand trap lineup is very player preference. You can change these ratios or change these cards entirely. Nibiru is also a really powerful card to play in this deck. It has this really great synergy with Dracotail Arthalian and also Gulamel. If multiple monsters are sent away, they just resummon themselves. But the reason I'm not main decking Nibiru in this version is because of the overabundance of Mitsurugis out there right now in the game. All right, so that's it for the main deck. 50 cards. We got our Nibiru token right there, just in case. We've got our 2 copies of Dracotail Arthalian to start us off here. Dracotail Arthalian, such a powerful card. You obviously can do a number of things with this to just disrupt your opponent. You could also recycle your Phymenas with it, which is really, really sweet to just have Phymena all the time. You can play 3 copies of this. I'm electing not to because it's pretty easy to just kind of like re-loop these cards via some of the Dracotail effects and of course with the Primite Fusion. So I don't really see the need for it. It doesn't need to grind that hard, but you can definitely play 3. Next up, we've got our 1 copy of Dracotail Gulamel, being able to destroy a card when you activate a Dragontail effect, and then special summon your Blue Eyes Jet right afterwards. Such a cool card right there. Next up, we've got the annoying cards. Yep, the ones that people really, really love to see against them. First off, we've got Mysterion, the Dragon Crown. This card is very, very obnoxious. This card's super generic. It just takes a dragon and a spellcaster, which your entire Blue Eyes White waifu lineup meets that criteria. When this card's on the field, though, it's a huge blowout card. It not only stops an opponent's monster from using its effect to special summon and banishes it, but it also banishes all monsters of the same type. So this can just literally wipe an entire Yummy board away, Dracotail board away. It's just really, really gross. Next up, we've got Secretarian Dragon, the Floodgate monster. Again, just like Mysterian, super simple to make. It just takes a dragon and a spellcaster, and this card is the Floodgate against your mirror match or against Blue Eyes or any deck that relies on spellcasters or dragon cards. All right, so next up, we've got our good old Primite Dragon Berzelius. Yeah, this card is really, really annoying. Very easy to make in the deck. Obviously, you can just make it with 5 mana, which is pretty cool. Primite Fusion. While it's on the field, it is a Primite, of course. You can just reset your drill beams even with this card being out. You don't have to have Ether Barrel. All right, so next up, we've got our Blue Eyes ones. We got the good old Tyrant Dragon, and then we got the classic Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate, so we can have the targeting protection and you know, tagging out, you know, contact fusion shenanigans. We're going to be playing 2 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, of course, because we obviously are going to be going into those spirit plays with our tuners and the Blue Eyes. We've got our 1 copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, so have a really powerful tag out for the negate. And then our last synchro is going to be the Lightstorm Dragon. It's just the most powerful of the like tag out effects that you can play, in my opinion, because it also can just be organically summoned with a Blue Eyes and a tuner. All right, and then we've got some Link monsters, 2 copies of Spirit with Eyes of Blue. You can just play one of this if you want to, but I've been finding myself wanting to have a second copy of this quite a number of times, so I've been playing 2, and it's been very, very nice. Then the last card is our good old Heavenly Sphere. So easy to make in this deck. Obviously, everything is dragon, basically, so we have to play it. All right, Devastator Squad, that's going to do it for our Blue Eyes White waifu deck, our Blue Eyes Dracotail. Definitely make sure to like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and check out other awesome videos across the channel. And I want to give a huge special shout out to all the members of the Patreon, especially our Dictators of Devastation, Y-Wing Guy, Larry, Quinn, Savvy, Captain Trips, Puppy Pack, The Jazz, our Moon Tier Zephyros, our Monkeys of D, Pepsi, and Galactic, and our Kings of Devastation, Cerberus, Condor FJ, Miguel, and my mom. And a big shout out to all the channel members, the Kaiba Mans, especially our Tier 2s, Puppy Pack, Larry, Mom, thank you so much for being one of my Kings of Devastation. I love you so much. Devastator Squad, you guys are the best. I can't wait to see you in the future videos and live streams and comment. Until then, stay awesome.